So at 12 volts, it's peaking somewhere around 0.65 amps. I imagine it could hit 0.7 at tops. And there's up to one more sequencer to install with up to 5, 6, 7 more LEDs. Maybe 10 or 12 total, because I do want to hook up a couple more cool whites here. And once I get a little more variety in that flash rate, then I can glue all those in. And over here, what I've just done is I've taken one of the bundles here, and it turns out it's not by console. This is one group on the center console alone. So I set them all into neutral yellow, and then I pulled each one out one by one, placed it in the green steady LED right there, just because it was really vibrant color. Mapped it out, figured where do I want that one to go, and then I put it into the orange, the red, or the green, and there are two single flashing yellows going off as well. And what I've got is a green column, an orange column, a red column, and then the fourth column to the right is a flashing yellow at the top and number 3, and then number 2 and 4 are steady greens. Let's take a look at how that looks. So yeah, it's that top column there. The red and the orange are not very distinct from each other on the video, just slightly. And then green number 2, column 1 looks a little orange, so I'll have to confirm that that one's in the correct pipe. Oh, I see. Those are flashing because those LEDs are hitting it, but they will not be hitting that ultimately in the end and overdriving that color there. But yeah, I like that panel, so I expect the rest of the bundles of the fibers are broken into the other ones, and I'll find out as I go. What's next, though, is I don't want to risk any of these fibers out of this bundle here flying out anywhere as they will, which means I have to label them. And that means, there it is, I've got this 1/4 inch masking tape. I'm going to write the letter of the color down first, rip it off, and then wrap it around the fiber here. Because what I'm going to do at that point is put them to the side so I have clean room to go and map all these other ones. Then once they're all mapped and labeled, I'll put them back into their individual tubes wherever they belong. That's the basics of it. This board is nice and solid right now. It's well glued in. I put a dab of glue on the back of the electrical tape in that pipe there just to make sure. And I think that actually particularly really helped to solidify things. So a few more LEDs to go, and I want to get the process of what I just went through to map this on camera. I'll take all these out, label them, we'll start fresh, and just go from there. I actually went ahead and labeled the second group of fiber optics, and while they were splayed straight out here before, now they've been rerouted. I wanted to pass these, this section underneath these wires here, as I did with those two sections, but because I had already taped the labels on there, it was impossible to get them through. So that's why they're just above, and I gave them their own little turret there to help support them. So all of these are going to loop back around into here and wherever else. There's actually one fiber, this one right here, leading up to this cool white, which goes to, I think it's the first one, top row, warm orange. Well, I don't have any flashing warms. I do have a flashing cool though, so I'm going with that. I could switch it over to the yellow perhaps. So these are out of the way. that just leaves this section here, which looks to be one full console. And the idea here, and I'll have to put the camera down for this, is to simply insert these into, the green has been a pretty good one so far. Whether I can do all of them at once or have to do them in 2 batches, we'll see. And then from there, what I'll do is I'll pull one out at a time and try them over on perhaps this flashing green so I can see what's going on and where it's located. From there, I can label it with a color or a function if it's a flash and put it aside. So as I draw each fiber out of that one, label them all, you eventually wind up with a tree of fiber that looks like this, and these are all caught up on each other. Once all of these are set, I can't really glue them into place quite yet, or can I? I think I can actually. After this, the only additions would be the computer console for the center there, and that's going into the yellows alone. So yeah, I think actually I can glue every bit of fiber except for the computer consoles there into place. I also need to route one more cool LED over here for that. And I'm still going to give it a try and resuscitate at least one of those sequencers there, and if I can, it's going to be a fast flash rate. So I should be able to get some variety out of everything here, but we'll see how it goes. I may not need one more. One other note is you can see how those 4 spiraling LEDs there are shining on this bundle of fiber optics. And I had mentioned that I painted these fiber optics to avoid any light contamination. That is a perfect example of exactly why you want to do it, because if we flip this over and look at the fibers that bundle is lighting, you can see it flashing all the different colors. Were that painted black, that would not be happening. So what I'm thinking about doing is, when I have a few things out of place, is get some, I really don't know if I should risk spray painting any of this black. I could mask everything off with relative ease, but I don't know. It's probably not worth it. So, let me get on with installing the green, and then basically it's try one, flip it over, see where it is, map it. I think I already said this. Here it goes.